Do you see these records behind me?
Yup!
That's just a taste of what we picked up over the last few months. Let's take a look at what else we got.
Yeah.
So we're gonna highlight some of our favorite pickups over the last few months. Stay tuned till the end because you might just discover something you didn't know you liked. I have been wanting a vinyl press of this for years. I think I've been talking about it since we met. This is Gatsby's American Dream Volcano. This is the 20th anniversary pressing. This was done by the band, so there's no labels involved from what I can tell, which is super awesome. So it was a little bit more pricey because they were doing it all on their own. So this was actually released right after I graduated high school. So my 20th reunion is coming up. I think this is their best album. Some people might disagree with me. However, I think this was a brave departure from what they had released in the past. I think there's still some left on Bandcamp. So if you just search their Bandcamp, you can grab it. Again, it is a little pricey. We're looking at about the $40 mark before shipping, but it is absolutely worth it. It sounds great. The packaging is great. Love was absolutely put into this release, and I highly recommend you pick it up. I honestly cannot believe this came out 20 years ago, and it still holds up.
We went to Buffalo Boogie Records. Well, we attempted to one time, and they were closed. So on our way back home, we stopped at McKay's. I came across this really cool picture disc. It's Prince and the Revolution. Obviously, it's Purple Rain. Who doesn't love just this whole album?
Oh, I love that record.
Right, it's a classic. So I just thought it was really cool. It's like, you know, him on the cool motorcycle and...
Can I make a confession?
Please.
I've never seen the movie.
What?
However, I do love this album.
For some reason, I always remember it being like on TV. Maybe it was like late at night on VH1 or something like that. I would always come across Purple Rain. So I watched it more in like pieces because it would just randomly be on TV.
So that's our, we'll add that to our list. Matt has to see Purple Rain.
For sure, for sure. And I have to see it. It's probably been 20 years since I've seen it.
So this is one I've been talking about since before we met. I've always wanted just an official pressing of this. There was never one in North America. I think it was only Jamaica. This is Sister Nancy 1-2. I absolutely love this record.
Me too.
I can thank my buddy Matt for introducing me to this. This is the first official US pressing, and I missed it because it was a Record Store Day exclusive. Because it didn't have the original album cover, I do like this one better. So it just wasn't something that was on my radar, so I had to scramble to find it online the day after Record Store Day.
Ah, good job.
If you are into dancehall, if you're into reggae,
If you were into good music.
great storyteller, I highly recommend picking up this album. You'd be shocked at how many hip hop artists sample one of the singles on here, Bum Bum.
I remember you putting it on and I just was like, this is so good. So my next one I picked up when we went and saw Pet Sematary. It's a band called Pony, and they were really fun on stage. It was just real poppy, like angst.
It was like really hardened pop mixed with a little bit of pop punk in there.
I saw them standing up at the merch table. I like to be like, hey, I'll buy this record if you sign it. And so I got it signed.
Pet Sematary has a knack for getting bands on their tours that are just rip.
Right, they have like a good ear, I think, and I feel like the people that they invite on tour with them are just bands that they think are really good, and that should be like...
That should be how it is.
Yeah, I agree, and they do that perfectly.
This one is the talk of the town. This is Turnstile, Never Enough. I ended up picking this up at the listening party we went to at Poorhouse.
So much fun.
And we had some guests in tow.
Yeah, Erica and Jeff, our favorite people, they were with us. It was so much fun to like show them around Poorhouse. It's a very important venue and record store to us.
I'm not gonna do what everyone thinks I'm gonna do.
Flip out, man.
And that's argue whether or not this band is still hardcore. It's a crazy argument. It doesn't matter. They're still making good music. This is a direct continuation, in my opinion, of their last album. They went from a pretty much straight hardcore band into whatever they've evolved into now.
Yeah, I like them a lot more now, I would say.
I'm reluctantly going to agree with Fantano on this one.
Anthony Cake Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd.
There are some points within the record where they kind of lost the plot and it starts to fall off because they get a little bit too ambient and too, I don't know the word, but yeah.
I love the ambient specs to it. Like I think that's what makes me like it more than the other older stuff, I guess.
Yeah. So if you've made it this far into the video, it means you're enjoying what you're seeing. Click that like button and that subscribe button for us. And just to let you know, we also have merch. We have shirts, buttons, stickers.
Click the link down below for more information.
So you went and met with your parents at Broken Anchor and picked this record up for me. This is Amy Winehouse, Frank. I believe this was her first album.
I don't know much about Amy Winehouse.
Oh my God. R.I.P. It was horrible what happened to her. Fame pretty much destroyed her, but her voice, holy cow.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
It was definitely weird going into a record store without you, but it was fun to like call you and be like, do you have this record? I could have looked on your Discogs.
You did, and you even said that. You were like, I was gonna look in your Discogs, but I had to look myself in my Discogs to see if I had it, because I remember we went to that record show and I kind of asked this older gentleman behind the table if he would take a lower price, and he said no, and so I was like, okay, bye. But the price you got it for is like way cheaper than the price I was asking.
We don't talk a lot about hip-hop on this channel, mainly because I don't claim to be any sort of authority on it, but I like what I like.
Same.
This is the new album from Aesop Rock, one of my favorite hip-hop artists. He's so elusive and he's a great storyteller. I wasn't a huge fan of his last one that he released, but again, my buddy Matt showed me that he was releasing something, and I listened to the first single on it and fell in love instantly. Saw this at Poorhouse again when we went to that Turnstile listening party. Ended up picking it up and I have not regretted it. If you haven't heard Aesop Rock, definitely check him out. I'm sorry, but anybody who can write a banger song about their cat is absolutely okay in my book.
Staring at the sun until one of us blinks. When it does, I'm running for the tunnels, hated blood in the creek.
So I ordered this one online as soon as I saw it. Julien Baker and Torres. Send a Prayer My Way. I've listened to like 1 or 2 songs off of this album and I loved it. So I trust that the whole thing is great. So I want to listen to it in full.
Correct me if I'm wrong, it's more of a country vibe,
It
right?
is like
Okay.
super folky. I love that about them. It's like what you would expect from both of them.
I love you all the way to hell and back.
My last one is one of my favorite bands from Japan. This is Toe, Now I See the Light. For someone who's obsessed with them, I actually didn't know they put out a new album.
Oh, wow.
And then Top Shelf Records came up as an advertisement. I was like, oh, I haven't bought anything or checked out what they were doing in a long time. And then that was on their splash page. So I was like, oh, yeah, I need to get that.
It is so good.
If you're a fan of like math rock, or if they somehow synthesize pop music and pop punk, it's this crazy
good.
mixture.
Yeah.
Super talented band. I have their entire discography now, and I am obsessed.
Yeah, I think I am newly obsessed myself.
Glad I could help. If you are into bands like Battles, you might enjoy this band as a whole, but this record especially.
This next one, it's Chappell Roan's Tiny Desk Concert. So good. It is a bootleg, which I didn't know at first whenever I ordered it. And you're like, oh, that's a bootleg. I'm like, oh, good to know.
So this comes from like a series. I think there's like a couple Taylor Swift ones and a few other bootlegs. For a bootleg that basically the audio source is from the internet, it sounds pretty okay.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not horrible. I loved watching her on, you know, Tiny Desk. So.
This is a top like 5 Tiny Desk.
Oh, for me, for sure.
It's where I belong down at the Pink Pony Club.
So like I promised, here is a quick look at everything else we picked up over the last couple of months.
One, two, three, four.
The intro. Bup, 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 bup.
Purple rain.
Okay, you ready?
Purple rain. You're sweating,
I know.
honey. I have cotton mouth.
Yeah, that's great.
Meow.
We went.
That's my opinion. That's my opinion. So